Introduction to George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, 1770–1831, was a German philosopher who made significant contributions to various areas of philosophy, including metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, and political theory. Hegel's work is characterized by its systematic approach and dialectical method, which seeks to uncover the underlying structures and processes of reality. Basic philosophy of George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Hegel's philosophy is best understood through his concept of the dialectic, which he applied to various domains of inquiry. Hegel argued that reality is fundamentally dynamic and characterized by contradiction and change. According to Hegel, the dialectical process involves the interplay of opposing forces or ideas, thesis and antithesis, leading to their synthesis into a higher and more comprehensive unity. In his major work, The Phenomenology of Spirit and Science of Logic, Hegel explored the development of human consciousness and the progression of absolute knowledge. He posited that history unfolds through a series of dialectical stages, culminating in the realization of absolute spirit or absolute knowing. How George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel might approach Imagitarianism. Hegel's dialectical approach and his emphasis on the development of consciousness and spirit would likely inform his engagement with Imagitarianism. Here's how Hegel might approach Imagitarianism. 1. Dialectical imagination. Hegel would likely view imagination as an integral aspect of human consciousness and spirit, playing a crucial role in the dialectical process of knowledge and self-realization. He might argue that imagination operates dialectically, synthesizing sensory impressions and conceptual ideas into imaginative constructs that contribute to the development of consciousness. Hegel would explore how imaginative activities, such as metaphor, analogy, and speculative thought, facilitate the exploration of truth and the expansion of human understanding. 2. Historical imagination. Building on his theory of historical development, Hegel might examine the role of imagination in shaping cultural narratives and collective identities. He would likely argue that imaginative representations, such as myths, legends, and artistic creations, reflect the spirit of particular historical epochs and contribute to the unfolding of human history. Hegel might explore how imaginative works embody the contradictions and tensions of their historical context, serving as vehicles for the expression of cultural values and aspirations. 3. Universal spirit and imagination. Hegel's concept of universal spirit, or Geist, as the ultimate reality underlying all phenomena, would lead him to view imagination as a manifestation of the creative power of spirit. He might argue that imaginative activities participate in the self-expression of universal spirit, allowing individuals to tap into the transcendent dimensions of reality and envision higher forms of truth and beauty. Hegel would explore how imaginative works, such as philosophical systems, literary masterpieces, and religious symbols, embody the spirit striving for self-realization and absolute knowledge. 4. Dialectical critique of imagination. Hegel's dialectical method would lead him to subject imagination to critical scrutiny, uncovering its limitations and contradictions. He might argue that imagination, like other cognitive faculties, is subject to dialectical tensions between appearance and reality, subjectivity and objectivity, and finitude and infinity. Hegel would explore how imaginative constructs interact with other forms of knowing, such as sensory perception, rational cognition, and intuitive insight, in the dialectical quest for truth and wisdom. 5. Ethical imagination. Hegel's philosophy of ethics and social theory would inform his exploration of the ethical dimensions of imagination. He might argue that imagination plays a vital role in ethical deliberation and moral imagination, enabling individuals to empathize with others, envision alternative futures, and strive for ethical excellence. Hegel would examine how imaginative empathy, moral intuition, and visionary leadership contribute to the realization of ethical ideals and social progress within the context of human history. In summary, George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel's dialectical philosophy provides a rich framework for engaging with Imagitarianism as a dynamic and creative aspect of human consciousness and spirit. Hegel would view imagination as an essential component of the dialectical process of knowledge and self-realization, exploring its historical, universal, ethical, and dialectical dimensions within the context of his broader philosophical system. A critical examination of Hegelianism through the lens of Imagitarianism. Hegelianism, rooted in the philosophical system developed by Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, proposes a comprehensive understanding of reality, history, and human consciousness. Through the framework of Imagitarianism, we can critically examine the foundational principles of Hegelianism, offering insights into its strengths, limitations, and implications for human thought and existence. Understanding Hegelianism. 1. Dialectical process. Hegelianism posits a dialectical process of historical and philosophical development, wherein contradictory ideas, thesis and antithesis, are synthesized to form higher-order concepts, synthesis. This dialectical movement underpins Hegel's vision of reality as a dynamic and interconnected totality, wherein contradictions are resolved through the rational unfolding of history and consciousness. 2. Absolute spirit. Central to Hegelianism is the concept of the absolute spirit, an all-encompassing reality that manifests itself through the historical and cultural development of human consciousness. The absolute spirit represents the culmination of the dialectical process, embodying the rational unity of thought and being, subject and object, individual and community. 3. Historical progress. Hegelianism offers a teleological view of history, wherein the unfolding of human civilization represents the progressive realization of freedom, reason, and self-consciousness. History is seen as the gradual manifestation of the absolute spirit, culminating in the realization of human freedom and self-realization in the modern state. Critique of Hegelianism from an Imagitarian perspective. 1. Totalizing tendency. One of the primary criticisms of Hegelianism from an Imagitarian perspective is its totalizing tendency, wherein diverse experiences, perspectives, and voices are subsumed under the overarching framework of the absolute spirit. This totalizing tendency risks erasing the richness and diversity of human existence, reducing individual identities to mere manifestations of an abstract historical process. 2. Neglect of imagination. Hegelianism tends to overlook the transformative power of imagination in human thought and creativity, prioritizing rationality and historical development over imaginative exploration and existential engagement. This neglect of imagination undermines the existential significance of subjective experience and limits the scope of philosophical inquiry to rationalistic abstraction. 3. Historical determinism. Hegelianism's teleological view of history may lead to a deterministic understanding of human progress, wherein the future is predetermined by the unfolding of historical forces. This deterministic outlook overlooks the contingency and unpredictability of human existence, negating the possibility of genuine novelty, creativity, and ethical agency in historical development. Reimagining Hegelianism through Imagitarianism. 1. Embrace of pluralism. Imagitarianism advocates for the embrace of pluralism and diversity in philosophical inquiry, recognizing the multiplicity of perspectives, experiences, and narratives that contribute to human understanding. Rather than imposing a totalizing framework, Imagitarianism celebrates the richness and complexity of human existence, fostering dialogue and collaboration across diverse philosophical traditions. 2. Integration of imagination. Imagitarianism highlights the integral role of imagination in human cognition and creativity, advocating for its inclusion in philosophical reflection and existential inquiry. By embracing imaginative exploration and existential engagement, Imagitarianism enriches Hegelianism's understanding of human consciousness, history, and reality, offering a more holistic and nuanced perspective on the dynamics of thought and being. 3. Open-ended inquiry. Imagitarianism encourages open-ended inquiry and critical reflection, challenging the deterministic tendencies of Hegelianism and inviting individuals to confront the uncertainties and ambiguities of human existence with courage and creativity. By embracing existential uncertainty and imaginative exploration, Imagitarianism reinvigorates Hegelianism's vision of historical progress, offering a more dynamic and open-ended understanding of human freedom and self-realization. Bold solutions and costs. Embracing Imagitarianism as a corrective to Hegelianism requires a fundamental re-evaluation of philosophical priorities and methodologies, challenging entrenched assumptions and institutional practices. The costs of this paradigm shift may include resistance from traditionalist scholars, disciplinary boundaries, and institutional inertia, which may hinder the integration of imaginative approaches into mainstream philosophical discourse. However, the benefits of embracing Imagitarianism outweigh the costs, as it offers a more inclusive, dynamic, and ethically engaged approach to philosophical inquiry. By integrating imagination into Hegelianism's framework, Imagitarianism enriches our understanding of human consciousness, history, and reality, fostering creativity, empathy, and existential authenticity in the face of existential uncertainty and historical contingency. In conclusion, Imagitarianism offers a critical re-evaluation of Hegelianism's totalizing tendencies, neglect of imagination, and historical determinism, offering bold solutions rooted in pluralism, imagination, and open-ended inquiry. By reframing Hegelianism through the lens of Imagitarianism, we can enrich our understanding of human existence, history, and consciousness, fostering creativity, empathy, and existential authenticity in the pursuit of philosophical truth and existential meaning-making.